Hey everybody, this is Vril. Welcome to Hearts of Iron 4. So this is the Gathering Storm. Dark times are coming. In Europe, Hitler has consolidated his power and his attention is now increasingly drawn beyond Germany's borders. Mussolini's Italy continues to embark on daring military adventures while the Empire of Japan stands poised to attack China in Asia. Almost 20 years have passed since the end of the Great War and the world has yet again been doused in gasoline. A single spark may be all that it takes. So we'll go ahead and get started. We're not going to play as any of these major nations here. We're going to play as a minor nation. I know I had a lot of requests to play as Germany. We also had some requests to play as Sweden, Norway, and even Turkey. And I want to do something a little bit different in this playthrough. And we're going to play as Argentina. And this is a little bit more interesting than a Argentina playthrough back in Hearts of Iron 3 because of the mechanics of the Monroe Doctrine have been tweaked slightly. So the Monroe Doctrine prevents European nations or any nations outside of the Americas from conquesting and taking territory in the Americas. However, so this guarantee of independence is on all of these nations. If two of these nations, say Argentina that we're playing, declares war on Bolivia, both have this guarantee of independence from the US. The US should ignore that based on the dev diary that I read, so we'll see how that works out. So looking at Argentina, at the moment, we're going to be changing to a fascist dictatorship here very soon, going forward. Right now, we have non-aligned party leader. He has 78% popularity. We are an authoritarian regime, or like I said, we're already non-aligned. Our next election will be in November of 1937, so that should give us the ability to increase our fascist party and win that election, but most likely we'll probably do a coup d'etat before that point. So that's where we're at. We're going to play this on Ironman mode, play it on regular difficulty, since this is one of my first playthroughs of the game, and we will keep historical AI focuses turned on. So let's go ahead and get started. I think everything's good to go. Okay, so getting started, we need to go ahead and set a national focus, as Argentina will be using the generic focus tree. Unlike the 7 major nations, and I think maybe Poland, they get their own focus trees tailored to them. We get the generic focus tree as Argentina and most of the minors then. So we'll be starting with the political effort, and that will give us political power plus 120. And that will take 70 days to complete. And the reason that we're going to go ahead and do that is because that gives us the collectivist ethos, and then we can move into the nationalism focus, which will improve our fascism support. Although once we get this political effort, we probably will be able to hire a political advisor here, this fascist demagogue, that will give us also some daily fascism support. So we'll get that going here very shortly. So looking at our country a little bit, we have 16 factories, 3 of which are military, 1 naval, and 12 civilian factories. We have 11.91 million population that are eligible for military service. However, we're only using 1.5% with our volunteer-only army. So national unity is not bad at 70%. And let's go ahead and look at our research. We only have 2 research slots. It'd be really nice if we had 3, but we only have 2, because I'd like to do engineering, industry, and infantry. So we need to pick. I want to do infantry because we have this 1918 infantry, and we're going to probably be declaring wars in late 1937, early 1938, and initial wars. So having 1936 infantry would be really useful for that. And we need to research that and then get the production going on that particular design as soon as possible. So we'll do that. And between industry or engineering, let's do engineering because that will give us research time minus 2%. So it'll only take 95 days, so that's not bad. Okay, so we have free civilian factories, free military factories. So let's look at our production here. Actually, before we do that, let's have a look at our resources. We have pretty good amount of oil here, and we have some tungsten and steel. Looking at our neighbors, the Bolivia, who is probably going to be our target, I'm thinking. They have tungsten and steel. Steel and oil in Uruguay, and more steel over here in Chile here, so good to know. Looking at our production once again, we're going to be needing a lot of steel. And it looks like we're missing both aluminum and rubber for aircraft, but I'm going to go ahead and change this fighter over to close air support. I don't think that the South American nations really going to have much of an air force, but if we could do close air support to help out our infantry on the ground, I think that'd be useful. And we have another military factory. Let's just... Should I just boost this up? That will take more steel. Were we okay on steel? What were we at? Aluminum was our issue. So let's go ahead and just do that. We actually... Our needs are totally filled, but we'll be using this soon enough when we change this over to 1936. So we have free civilian factories. I'm going to go ahead and build some more military factories. And we'll do that. Let's see, we've got full factories here in Mesopotamia and in Pampas. So I guess we'll do this in this Chaco Austral. Kind of a cool province name there. And again, our free dockyards. So we're probably not going to be building ships during this series, but we might as well at least get this progressing. We have enough convoys as it is. So let's build a destroyer, and that's going to take years to build. So like I said, we're not going to have very much divisions to build. Actually, let's go ahead and rename these. As I already said, my Spanish, not very good. So it'd be easier if I just say infantry. Very basic stuff here. We will add support artillery to these at some point. Not really sure what the best designs for these are, but this is what we're going to use, and probably a little bit of support artillery. Back in Hearts of Iron 3, that was kind of the way to go, was with a minor nation like this, was infantry with armor. Sorry, infantry with artillery, not with armor. It'd be nice if we had armor. So that's where we're at. Let's change... Oh, we need to click this rename and change these guys. I guess these are Mountain Brigade. Let's just call them Mountain Infantry. Very interesting design here. Only 3 Mountaineers in this, so... Okay, and we have some cavalry. Easy enough, and that one's full of cavalry. No surprises there. So that'll be a little bit easier to read going forward, at least for myself. And let's go ahead and at least start training one of these guys. We'll build him up over here. Yeah, we have insufficient resources, but I don't really care about that. Let's look at our actual army, and then we'll start progressing time. Where did our army go? There we go, right map mode. So... let's go ahead and recruit, or not even recruit, but just assign a guy, and we'll have this Juan Pistarini here with the Urban Assault Specialist and Fortress Buster. This other guy is actually a Field Marshal, but I guess Max Entrenchment would be, he'd be better for defensive line. And let's go ahead, set these guys up on the Bolivian border, and we need to get them training as well. Make sure everybody's selected, and we'll start training. And I guess it's time to progress time as well. Not too much otherwise to do at the moment. Can have a look at some of our other nations that are around. We have Uruguay is a democratic nation. Paraguay is a communist. Most of these guys probably are aligned. Actually, Chile here is democratic. Bolivia, non-aligned. Peru is fascist. Brazil, non-aligned. Colombia is democratic. So actually, I thought there would be more non-aligned, and Venezuela here is fascist as well. So, interesting. They're also researching the political effort too. Yeah, I thought there'd be more non-aligned around here. I was kind of surprised by that. Let me boost our speed up to the max here, and of course we'll be getting the autosave every month, every once in a while going on. There it goes. every time we make a critical decision. So yeah, these guys will be taking a little bit of attrition because they are training. Once we get to 10 army experience, we could add that support artillery into this, but for the moment, I think we're good. And, yeah, we'll be coming up on our political effort momentarily, and then we'll recruit that fascist demagogue here. And we've also got the remilitarization of the Rhineland here. So Germany has stationed troops in the Rhineland territory close to the French border in clear violation of the Treaty of Versailles. The local population cheered the German soldiers on, while the diplomatic reactions from France and Britain have so far been muted. It is no more than a German walking into their own backyard, a political commentator in Britain observed. So I don't think that's worrying, but that is our response to it. And we finished our national focus, so we can hire our fascist demagogue. So fascism is on the rise here. So the Argentinian people have a noble history, a history they've been made to forget under the weak and cowardly rule of the, I guess it's the Concordancia here. They claim to represent the people, but can so feeble a state enforce the will of the people? Only by spilling the blood of these traitors can we fulfill our destiny. The fascist speakers of Argentina have made no secret of what they think of the current rulership and political system. Speeches like these have tapped into public dissent that is particularly pronounced in the more conservative sections of the military, so the higher-ups may harbor unspoken sympathies, or the younger generations will take up the torch. Let's say the younger generations will take up the torch. So increases the chance of popular support for a fascist coup. I think that these are exactly the same, so not really sure about that unless it's a wrong tooltip. And we need to set our next nationalism, our national focus. We'll be doing the collectivist ethos, and let's see, this will gain... And we'll get national daily democracy support -2, so that will at least set us on the choice between nationalism and internationalism focus, and that will take 70 days as well. I think all the political choices here take 70 days, but maybe they take longer later on. So yeah, research probably coming up here too. We'll move on over to industrial once we're done with this one. And once we're done with our infantry, we'll probably set up production. Okay, we're actually have our industry working a little bit here on the 1918 guns, so that's fine, I suppose, but they're going to be switching over momentarily. Could go ahead and build towed artillery, but we can't even do that yet because we have that 1918 military, and well, I just trained another guy here, don't want to do that. And our division, like I said, I think I already went over this, but it would cost 10 of our army experience to add that artillery to that. So yeah, just always in a Hearts of Iron game, big build-up from 1936, but I will say that I think things are slightly more interesting here in Hearts of Iron 4 compared to the Hearts of Iron 3, since we have all these options for changing our government, something that was not a possibility at all back in the days of Hearts of Iron 3. So electronic mechanical engineering is complete. Let's go ahead. Another good thing in this is if you miss researching here, the research will actually stockpile here. You can save up to 30 days, so it's very useful. Gone are the days of pausing. I still do it, but gone are the days of pausing on the exact hour and making sure you didn't lose anything. So we'll do the... just double check here. Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and do the industry. Get that going. And yeah, we'll keep that going. I was kind of hoping that we get to the point where we could get done with all of this nationalism focus, but I'm not sure, at least in the first episode, and get our country into the fascist way of thinking, but that might not happen. So the main reason we're doing that, though, is at the moment, we can't justify any war goals until the world tension is at 50%, and that's probably not going to go to 50% until September of 1939, when the Germans go into Poland, so that is why we want to switch either to fascism or communism, and then we can justify our war goal. So that was why we're doing this method here. Increase our speed back up to the max here. What do we got? We've got new civilian, or a military factory just came online. Let's go ahead, get this artillery start going. Probably need some more resources, but I'm not going to worry about resources until we're actually building the ones that we're going to use once we're into our wars here. So they'll be slightly reduced for the moment, but that's okay. Like I said, we have no template for those anyway. Just keep going with our military factories here. Spread it out a little bit, though. That's one of our research options we'll look into momentarily. Let's just wait for this to come down. Yeah, we're going to be switching these guys, the production of infantry equipment, on over. Alright, so just finished collectivist ethos. So let's get on the nationalism focus. Good, so we are getting on this bandwagon. So we are up to 12%, so this should really start going now that we have that. Well, once we get the nationalism finished. These guys need to switch over. So you can see our total need of 1943, that's how many, not the year, but 1943 infantry equipment to produce. So, actually I was thinking we finished that one, but we didn't. We finished the political power. Or the national focus, that is. So we're just about to finish, and then we'll... There we go. So first of all, switch this on over to the new infantry equipment. That number probably needs to update. I don't think it's updated yet. We'll check that out in a moment. So that our next research slot could use support weapons. But let's... okay, we can't do that yet. Let's get on mechanical computing. 233 days, though? Or... We will use radios by the time we're going to war. Would probably be a good idea. Support equipment would be good, too. Support weapons. 140 days versus 93 days. Enables support equipment, whereas this one actually gives us, our units, some actual defensive breakthrough here. Let's go ahead and do that for now. Alright. So again, I was going to check on production here. So that didn't go up very much. Good. Just make sure. No, did I not actually select this? Okay, I'm kind of confused. We want weapons 1, right? Okay. I'm not sure what I'm... Yeah, I think that's what's already selected. So show outdated equipment. Yeah, so that's what we used to have there. Basic infantry equipment. Here, so the Italians just finished off Ethiopia, annexed them, and when you take over these countries and they capitulate, you take over some of their equipment, so that's always useful. Let's have a quick look over here. I guess we haven't really looked at the map all that much otherwise, but yeah, so Italy into Ethiopia there. See where we're at on our research. It'd be nice if we had like something here that told us our research. But yeah, that's where we're at. We're almost here to our army experience here. These guys just working on the border here, training. Once we do that, then we will be able to go ahead and modify our division templates here. It's very good that we not too far off of being able to upgrade these guys. To have everybody upgraded and reinforced here. And we're probably getting close on our nationalism focus. Yes, we are. We're up to 15%, and that will just go even quicker once we get done with nationalism focus there. But it does look like we're out of time for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, hit the like button, let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time.